Get ready for a week full of drama and unexpected twists in The Young and the Restless from October 28 to November 1, 2024. As secrets come to light and alliances shift, Genoa City is about to be rocked. Monday, October 28, 2024. Kyle's risky move. Kyle Abbott finds himself in a precarious situation as he makes a bold decision regarding his future at Djibouti. After being pushed to the edge by Victor Newman, Kyle decides to take matters into his own hands. But will his gamble pay off, or will it lead to catastrophic consequences for both his career and family relationships? Sharon's shocking discovery. Sharon Rosales stumbles upon something unsettling that may change her life forever. As Sharon uncovers a disturbing clue in Daniel Romolotti's case, she is forced to confront some deep fears. Could her discovery implicate someone she cares about? Tension between Jack and Diane. As Jack Abbott and Diane Jenkins struggle with the increasing tension in their relationship, their opposing views on handling Kyle's recent decisions start to create cracks in their partnership. Will they find common ground, or is their relationship about to implode? Tuesday, October 29, 2024. Nikki and Victor plan a move. With Victor feeling the pressure from recent Newman family conflicts, he and Nikki strategize their next big move. Will it be enough to keep the peace, or is a major shakeup in store? Summer confronts Kyle. Summer Newman confronts Kyle about the secretive decisions he's been making at work and how they're impacting their relationship. Will this cause further strain, or can they find a way back to each other? Thursday, October 31, 2024. Phyllis in danger. Phyllis Summers finds herself in hot water when her involvement in a mysterious plot goes awry. Could this be the end of her latest scheme, or will she manage to escape unscathed? Friday, November 1, 2024. The forensic team's discovery. Genoa City's forensic team stumbles upon a stunning discovery that could turn the Daniel Romolotti case upside down. This revelation may have dire consequences for several residents, including Sharon and Chance. What will this discovery reveal, and who will be left paying the price? Stay tuned for an action-packed week in Genoa City as secrets come to light, relationships face the ultimate test, and shocking twists unfold. Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel, Pulse Canvas. It's me, Jolie here. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Keep watching, so let's dive into today's video. As the intricate and suspenseful narrative of The Young and the Restless unfolds, the tension between family loyalty and the law reaches a critical point. The focus shifts to Phyllis Summers, who finds herself teetering on the edge as her son Daniel faces serious allegations that threaten to land him behind bars. The emotional turmoil surrounding this situation is compounded by the efforts of Chance Chancellor, a steadfast police officer who is determined to pursue Daniel based on what he perceives as compelling evidence against him. Phyllis, fueled by her fierce maternal instincts, is resolute in her belief that Daniel is being wrongfully accused and is determined to shield him from the harsh realities of the legal system. Her refusal to accept the possibility of her son's guilt leads her to act impulsively, disregarding the advice of those around her who urge caution. In her quest for justice, Phyllis's passionate defense of Daniel could inadvertently place her in jeopardy, igniting a confrontation with the law that she may not be prepared to face. Recognizing the potential consequences of Phyllis's defiance, Christine Williams, a skilled and pragmatic attorney, steps into the fray as Daniel's legal advocate. Christine quickly identifies the dangers posed by Phyllis's interference and seeks to de-escalate the situation. She understands that for Daniel to have a chance at proving his innocence, both he and Phyllis must adhere to the legal process. Christine's approach is calculated and methodical. She knows that any misstep could jeopardize not only Daniel's future, but also Phyllis's freedom. In a pivotal meeting, Christine confronts Phyllis, urging her to cease her reckless behavior. If you continue down this path, not only will Daniel face serious repercussions, but you could also find yourself facing charges, she warns sternly. Phyllis, though enraged and anxious, struggles to grasp the severity of Christine's warning. Her instinct to protect Daniel blinds her to the very real risks her actions pose. While Phyllis grapples with her emotions, another critical storyline unfolds in Genoa City. Nikki Newman, a formidable and influential figure, is drawn into the complexities of her own family dynamics as she seeks to support Jack Abbott amid his tumultuous marriage with Diane Jenkins Abbott. Jack is caught in a whirlwind of personal strife, facing the impending collapse of his marriage and the potential disintegration of his family and business. Nikki's deep understanding of both Jack and Diane compels her to approach the situation with empathy, but she realizes that Jack's struggles are not just about the marriage. They hint at a deeper conspiracy that may put everyone at risk. During her visit to Jack, Nikki discovers troubling details about the family crisis. Jack confides in her about significant financial losses, revealing the immense stress he is under. As he teeters on the brink of an emotional breakdown, Nikki fears he might revert to past addictions that had previously threatened his well-being. "You can't lose yourself, Jack. We've been down this road before, and I won't let you go back there," she warns, expressing genuine concern for his future. Unbeknownst to Nikki, she is unwittingly entangled in a larger scheme orchestrated by Jack and Diane. As their facade of marital turmoil unravels, Nikki may find herself grappling with feelings of betrayal, questioning the loyalties of those she holds dear. The hidden agendas swirling around them create a web of intrigue that could lead to unforeseen consequences for everyone involved. With Phyllis's fierce devotion to her son, Christine's strategic mindset in the courtroom, and Nikki's unwavering support for her friends, the stage is set for a dramatic showdown. As tensions mount and secrets threaten to explode, the residents of Genoa City brace for upheaval. The intertwined fates of these characters will test their resolve and ultimately reveal who will emerge victorious in this battle of love, loyalty, and deception. As the plot thickens, the question remains, can these characters navigate the dark waters of their intertwined lives, or will they succumb to the carefully laid traps that threaten to engulf them all? Fans are left on the edge of their seats, eagerly anticipating the revelations that lie ahead. Subscribe for the latest updates and insights into this captivating saga. Lie and r/Jack and Nikki. The Young and the Restless spoilers and preview hint at intense developments for the week coming ahead. In the week of October 28, November 1, 2024, Nikki Newman voices her concerns to Jack Abbott regarding his sobriety after losing so much, while Phyllis loses her mind over Daniel's arrest. Nate Hastings has a visitor as Amy Lewis returns to Genoa City with the debut of the actress Valerie Pettiford taking on the role. Will she have some bombshells in her armor? Let's take a look at what's coming up. Jack assures Nikki during the week of October 28, November 1, 2024, the Y&R preview reveals that Nikki Newman will visit Jack Abbott. Jack appears disturbed and disappointed when Nikki raises her concerns about his potential relapse. He claims to have lost his wife and son, but he cannot afford to lose his sobriety as well. To this, Nikki responds that it's easier said than done, suggesting to Jack that this straightforward approach may be unrealistic. As regular viewers know, Jack and Diane have successfully established that their relationship is falling apart. Jack has even hinted to Tracy that it all is falling apart so fast, and the issues are such that nobody really can do anything. Now, with everyone worrying about it, we wonder if it all holds any truth, or is it just another act? Speculations are rife that Jack and Diane have a hint of everything that Victor and Kyle are planning, and this falling apart is nothing but a facade. Could that actually be true? With the way the news about this is spreading across Genoa City, it seems like a lot of it is mere act. What do you think? Amy has got a surprise for Nate. Next, the preview video introduces Valerie Pettiford as Amy Lewis. She will appear in the October 29, 2024 episode where she visits Nate Hastings. The preview reveals Amy expressing gratitude to Nate for seeing her again. She seems happy to be back in Genoa City after the long break. But has she returned to make some revelation to Nate? The speculations suggest that Amy's visit involves a major revelation about Nate's half-brother. A little bird tells us that there is a possibility that Amy might tell Nate that she had a son with Nate's father, Nathan Hastings Jr., and she is here to introduce them. If something like that does happen, Nate is sure to be taken aback, big time. How will he deal with this new situation? What do you think? Tell us in the comments. Phyllis loses her mind. Later in the week, the Y&R preview shows Phyllis Summers furious with Chance. She erupts when Chance attempts to arrest Daniel Romalotti Jr. Phyllis believes that Daniel is being framed and she wanted to protect him. So when Chance tries to arrest him, Phyllis will intervene and argue. However, as things heat up, Christine will walk in the scene. She will announce that she has returned to defense Chance. While Phyllis and Christine haven't been on the same page ever in life, it looks like Phyllis will understand and accept that Christine is the best defense for Daniel and be thankful. Well, as fans know, Heather's murder case investigation has been revolving around the evidence implanted by Sharon Newman, which has led to Daniel's arrest. Now, when Sharon receives the update on his arrest, her response could contain mixed emotions as she'll be feeling guilty for framing Daniel, but relieved from getting caught. Do you think Phyllis and Christine will be able to dig evidence to prove Daniel's innocence, or will Sharon ever consider telling truth in the future? Could there be a twist waiting to bring him some relief? Do share your thoughts in the comment section. Stay tuned to Soap Opera Daily for more The Young and the Restless spoilers. We ensure you get the best of it first. Get ready for another exciting episode of The Young and the Restless as the drama continues to unfold in Genoa City. Here's a sneak peek at what's in store for Saturday, October 26, 2024. Victor's next move shakes the Newman family. Victor Newman isn't done making waves. After recent revelations, he's preparing to make another bold decision that could shake up the entire Newman family. Will his latest power play put him in direct conflict with his children? Expect tension to rise as the Newmans deal with the fallout of his actions. Kyle and Summer's marriage in trouble. The cracks in Kyle and Summer's relationship grow deeper, and this episode sees them facing yet another hurdle. Rumors of infidelity and trust issues continue to plague their marriage, leaving fans wondering if they'll be able to repair the damage or if this could be the end for the once happy couple. Phyllis on a mission. Phyllis is back in action, and she's determined to take control of her future. After being on the sidelines, Phyllis will now make a bold move to get what she wants. But will her actions backfire, or will she outsmart her opponents once again? Billy and Lily's growing tension. Billy and Lily continue to struggle with their personal and professional lives. With the pressures mounting at Chancellor Winters, their relationship faces new challenges. Can they find a way to work through their differences, or will this be the breaking point? Chance's shocking discovery. Chancellor makes a discovery that could change everything. His latest investigation leads to a stunning revelation, leaving fans on the edge of their seats. What he uncovers could have serious implications for several key players in Genoa City. Tune in to The Young and the Restless on Saturday, October 26, 2024, to see how these storylines unfold. The Young and the Restless spoilers recap for Friday, October 25, reveals that Phyllis Summers will vent to Billy Abbott about Sharon Newman being responsible for Heather Stevens' demise and Daniel Romalotti Jr.'s frame-up. However, Billy won't think Sharon is capable of all that and will argue that Phyllis is spinning out. As Billy maintains that Phyllis can't be part of Abbott Chancellor right now, he'll push her to go home and take some time for herself. At the athletic club, Diane Jenkins Abbott will approach Victor Newman and Nikki Newmans with the news of her split from Jack Abbott. After Diane blames Jack for bailing on their marriage, firing her and throwing her out of the house, she'll hint about payback. Diane will think Kyle Abbott deserves a downfall as well and will suggest it hurt Jack to see his son fail, so she'll push for Victor's help. Although Victor will eventually urge Diane to leave, Nikki will scold him afterward for encouraging her. Victor will act like he was just seeing how far Diane would take things by hearing her out. In the park, Diane will try to offer her condolences to Phyllis, who won't be interested in phony sympathy since they still hate each other. Upstairs at the GCAC, Daniel will help Lucy Romalotti pack and make a friendship bracelet that she can take on her trip. Lucy will say her goodbyes to Daniel and Phyllis before heading off to join Danny Romalotti's tour. At Crimson Lights, Christine Blair will grill Chance Chancellor for case updates and insist he's got the wrong guy. Chance will contend that it's out of his hands since the district attorney is deciding whether to charge Daniel today. Later, Chance will find Daniel while he's with Phyllis at the athletic club. That's where Chance will announce that Daniel is under arrest for the murder of Heather Stevens. At the Abbott mansion, Kyle will check on Jack and assume he had a rough night. After Kyle mentions quizzing Diane at the GCAC, he'll talk about his mom having an agenda when she came to town. Jack will suggest that watching Diane turn on Kyle was the breaking point for him. After Jack reflects on his failures, he won't know if he can ever forgive himself for choosing Diane over Kyle. Once Jack leaves on Friday's I&R episode, he'll catch up with Billy at Society. After Jack admits his marriage is over, he'll wonder if the only way to heal his relationship with Kyle was to lose Diane. The Young and the Restless spoilers say Jack and Diane may have a few tricks up their sleeves, so stick with. Today on The Young and the Restless, Tracy learns Jack and Diane are through. Nick shares Phyllis' suspicions with Sharon, and Daniel tells Lucy she must leave for Vancouver. All products and services featured are independently chosen by editors. However, Soaps.com may receive a commission on orders placed through its retail links, and the retailer may receive certain auditable data for accounting purposes. At the Abbott mansion, Diane is carrying heavy luggage down the stairs. Tracy assumes she's going on a last-minute trip. Diane explains she's actually leaving at Jack's request. He asked her to move out tonight. Tracy's jaw drops as Jack joins them. This all seems crazy to his sister. Jack says it really is that bad. All they do is fight. His sister suggests they are just having a rough patch and reminds them of how in love they were a month ago. The couple recounts their latest public meltdown. Diane refuses to defend herself anymore. Her husband declares that all they have is a lie. She's broken his heart and their marriage. He thinks they should get an annulment. Diane insists she loves him, and Tracy reminds them that they made vows to love and honor one another. There must be a way to work this out. Diane fears there's no way to fix this. Jack stares at his nails and tells his wife that he hopes she doesn't stop by the office. Once Diane is gone, Jack declares he's well rid of her. The marriage was just a means to an end for her. His sister thinks he's hurt. People fight, and it gets ugly, but you don't just throw a marriage away. Jack reminds Tracy that she had warned him about Diane not so long ago. Tracy explains that was before she could see the love between them, and what a miracle their reunion was. Jack knows his sister spins love stories out of thin air. Tracy insists this is real, but he argues that his wife is everything people warned him against. Kyle arrives at the Abbott house, and Jack tells his son his marriage is over and he's asked Diane to leave Jabot. Kyle guesses she's no longer co-CEO and isn't sure how to feel. Jack assumes he's thrilled to watch his parents' relationship implode. Kyle admits that they had it coming. He wonders what caused the sudden shift in his father's perspective, but then claims he doesn't care. Tracy tells Kyle he can't talk about his parents like this. Kyle says his parents don't care about his feelings and vice versa, they've betrayed him. He urges his aunt to steer clear of them and walks out. Tracy hugs Jack and tells him how sorry she is. She can't understand what went so wrong so fast. Jack claims he was living in denial, but his sister thinks he could see the truth about Diane before the rest of them. He knew in his heart that she was sincere. Tracy refuses to believe that they were all fools. Diane really did change. Pouring himself some water, Jack says his doubts started when he saw how she reacted to Kyle stealing from Jebot. She was so vicious, as though her son was a common thief. Diane wouldn't even allow him to suggest that part of the blame was on them. Tracy urges him to let the dust settle before anything happens that can't be undone. Jack urges her to stay out of it. It's much deeper than she knows. More, what Y and R desperately needs. Lucy is with Daniel at society, wishing they could go home. He prods her to eat. Lucy hasn't been able to eat since she lost her mother. Daniel wants to shield her from what the police find. When Lucy insists she can handle it, she reminds him that it's just the two of them. Her father says there is a line between keeping her up to speed and exposing her to every detail. Lucy protests that she has the right to hear. He explains he's made a decision to keep her safe, and she needs to go along with it. Things will get insane until there is another suspect. He reminds her that they know he's innocent, but the cops don't. That's why he's sending her to Vancouver to go on tour with Danny. Lucy refuses, but he insists. Things are going to get a whole lot worse for me before they get better, he warns. Lucy asks if she's supposed to stay away forever. Daniel's sure the truth will come out eventually. Lucy swears she can handle this, but he says it's his job to protect her. Summer interrupts and Lucy explains her dad wants to send her away. That could be fun, says Summer. Her niece thinks she would just be worried. Summer admits sending her away might not be the best idea. She might get more worried if she is being kept in the dark. Daniel says he'll tell her what she needs to know. Lucy wants to be there to support her dad. If he sends her away, it will feel like she's lost him too. Daniel assures her that this is only temporary and she will not lose him. As he insists his plan is the right one, Christine arrives and backs this up. Christine has the jet ready to take Lucy to Danny. Leaping up, Lucy declares she needs a minute and walks off. Summer wants to go after her, but her brother tells her not to. After having talked to the cops, Christine admits that the case against Daniel isn't as weak as she expected. Kids and the media can be vicious and will traumatize Lucy when they find out what he's accused of. Daniel thanks her for coming. It's giving him a glimmer of hope. Summer wanders off, and Daniel asks Christine if the cops found anything at the apartment that will help get him out of this situation. Christine tells Daniel that first, he has to tell her his side for the story. Then she will try to figure out a way to get him out of this nightmare. Summer finds Lucy pacing outside society and suggests that it might be a good idea for her to stay with Danny. If she stays there, her dad will be so worried about her, it will only make things worse for him. Summer reminds the teen that her dad won't be alone. She and Phyllis will have his back. More, will Kevin Costner return to Yellowstone? Diane goes to the athletic club bar and sadly orders a drink. She nearly tears up as she pulls off her ring. Kyle storms in and demands the truth. Did she ever actually love him and his father, or were they just tools she used to get what she wanted? She asks why it's okay for him to want power and success but not her. She wanted love, both with Jack and the kind of love they had when Kyle was little. Diane insists her love for her son never died, not even when she cut him loose from Jebot. When she and Jack reunited, she fell for him harder than she thought was possible. Finally, she thought she got something right. Her love for Kyle and Jack was real, and it always will be. Kyle doesn't believe it. His mom says she never meant for anything to play out this way. At her front door, Sharon throws her arms around Nick and tells him she's tried to keep it up but can't. It's just too much. As she pants, he leads her to the couch and urges her to take a breath and relax while he gets her some tea. Before he can do that, Sharon tells him she's a terrible person and can't live with herself after all the pain she's caused. He insists she's kind and compassionate. Sharon says she's other things too. He's not shocked that she's rattled after what she's been through. In her head, she argues with herself about what to tell him before asking for a cup of tea. As Nick goes off to the kitchen, Sharon stands and leans on the mantel. Nick returns with tea, and she tells him how much it means that he shows up. He assures her that she's no burden and can tell him anything. Nick wants to help and tells Sharon she can trust him. Sharon weighs whether she can risk telling him what she's done. After she eats something, Nick tells her how much he and the kids want her to be happy. She doesn't need to feel guilty about leaning on them. But if they are going to help, Sharon needs to open up. He promises to be there for her, no matter what. She looks around for Cameron. He's not there. I need some air, she declares, running for the door. More, Eric Braeden praises Alum's new series. Sharon and Nick go to the park. She says she has been feeling so cooped up and is relieved she has a therapy session coming up. Nick points out he's there now and that she's been making serious statements about not being able to live with things. Again, he urges her to open up. She admits that Daniel came by and said some things he likely wouldn't have said if he wasn't swallowed up by grief. That made her feel like a horrible person. She explains that she went to see Heather the night she was killed, and Daniel was desperate to know what they talked about. Nick admits that Phyllis already told him she went to see Heather. Sharon wonders what else she said. Nick claims she was all worked up and rambling. Sharon wants details. Nick admits that Phyllis thinks she killed Heather. That makes Sharon livid. More, My and Our twist turns foes to allies. Nick is sure that Phyllis is grasping at straws and tries to reassure Sharon, insisting no one will believe what his other ex thinks. When Sharon asks if he thinks it was suspicious that she didn't tell the cops about going to see Heather, Nick says he's sure it just slipped her mind. Sharon assumes that Phyllis is just looking for someone to blame. Anyone would do the same. He thinks that trying to pin a murder on someone is going further than most people would. He's sure that Sharon would never do something like that. She tells him his support means a lot to her. Nick doesn't want any of this to reverse the progress she's made. That doesn't stop her from worrying. Sharon understands now where Daniel got the idea that she's responsible. Phyllis has been whispering. She declares that she's starting to feel like she's the one being framed. Nick's sure Phyllis will let this go. Sharon stares and thinks to herself that she needs to deal with Phyllis and stop this nightmare before it's too late. Young and the Restless spoilers for Friday, October 25, indicate some interesting moments in the land of Genoa City as the soap heads into the weekend. Next on Young and the Restless. Someone tries to recruit another into a scheme, while two brothers clear the air and someone is on damage control. What kind of drama is set to unravel on Friday? Time to dive right in. The Young and the Restless spoilers. The Moustache tries to recruit Diane Abbott. Y&R spoilers for Friday, October 25, reveal that Victor Newman will likely see Diane at the GCAC. As Jack Abbott officially booted his wife out of the mansion during Thursday's show, she's taken up residency at the hotel. Added teasers imply that the Moustache will attempt to recruit Diane. Will she take the bait? Then again, maybe Victor is taking the bait, as Dak could be trying to pull a fast one over on him by pretending they are on a break. Only time will tell. Y&R spoilers. The Abbott brothers make amends. Speaking of Jack, Y&R spoilers for Friday, October 25 hint at some good news for him, as he and Billy Abbott clear the air. Sadly, Jack is on the outs with both Diane and his son, Kyle Abbott, so it's nice he'll be able to mend fences with his brother. The Young and the Restless spoilers. Phyllis Summers is on damage control. Lastly, Y&R spoilers for Friday reveal Phyllis Summers will be on damage control for Daniel Romalotti. Red knows something about being in a situation like this, so if anyone can help him, it's her. Then again, Phyllis is also known for making terrible and impulsive decisions, so to help him with damage control, could she make matters worse? Fans will have to tune in to find out. What storyline are you most looking forward to on Friday? Share your thoughts below. Watch the CBS soap daily so you don't miss a moment of the drama, and visit SOS for the most up-to-date Young and the Restless spoilers and news. The Young and the Restless spoilers. Lucy's bold stand against Sharon and what it means for her family. In a life-threatening situation, Lucy Roma's decision to confront Sharon Newman reflects her remarkable growth. Once a vulnerable young woman, Lucy now steps up with courage, determined to protect her family. Her actions not only save her grandmother, Phyllis Summers, but also showcase her newfound maturity and ability to navigate the power struggles of Genoa City. Lucy's journey has been turbulent. She's coped with her father's wrongful imprisonment and the loss of her mother, leading her down a difficult emotional path. However, this pivotal moment shows her inner strength and resilience as she confronts Sharon. By taking action, Lucy proved she's no longer a helpless victim. She's someone who understands the stakes and can make bold moves to protect her loved ones, even at personal risk. Sharon, who has long manipulated and avoided justice, underestimated Lucy's resolve. Her belief in her own invincibility crumbles as Lucy takes control, armed and ready to protect her grandmother. Sharon's confidence falters, revealing her vulnerability. This moment signals a shift in Genoa City's power dynamics, with Sharon finally facing consequences at the hands of those she thought she could outsmart. Lucy's choice to intervene with a strategic and cautious approach reflects both her growth and Phyllis's influence. She recognizes the dangers Phyllis faces, but also learns from her grandmother's missteps, understanding the importance of making careful choices in high-stakes situations. Lucy's balance of Phyllis's boldness with a more calculated mindset marks her maturity and readiness to protect her family. By confronting Sharon, Lucy has proven herself as a powerful, active force within her family's ongoing struggle for justice. With key evidence in hand, Lucy's brave actions not only save Phyllis, but bring the family closer to exposing Sharon's manipulations and clearing Daniel's name. This defining moment cements Lucy's place as a central figure in the Roma family's battle and the intricate world of Genoa City. Chance Chancellor found himself at a pivotal moment, holding the very evidence that could unravel the entire case and send Sharon Newman to prison. Sharon's blood-stained necklace, a crucial piece found at Daniel's home, left no doubt that she had been involved in Heather's death. This was not just any piece of jewelry, it was undeniable proof of a violent struggle, one that had ended tragically. Now, with this damning evidence in his possession, Chance faced a moral and professional dilemma that weighed heavily on his conscience. For weeks, Chance had quietly conducted his investigation, piecing together events leading up to Heather's death. He had his suspicions about Sharon for some time, but upon finding the necklace, everything clicked into place. Sharon had been hiding the truth, manipulating everyone around her to deflect suspicion. Yet Chance had kept this evidence to himself, hesitating to make it public, not ready to act, at least not yet. Exposing this evidence would shatter lives, not only Sharon's but Daniel's and Lucy's too. Daniel, an innocent man, was preparing for prison, believing the mountain of evidence against him was insurmountable, and Lucy, who had already lost her mother, was on the verge of losing her father too. When Chance finally confronted Sharon in private, he clung to the hope that she would deny everything, that maybe there was another explanation. But his worst fears were confirmed. Under the weight of his questioning, Sharon broke down and confessed, admitting that she had killed Heather in a struggle that spiraled out of control. Desperate to avoid prison, Sharon pleaded with Chance to keep her secret, knowing the devastating impact the truth would have on her life. For Chance, Hearing Sharon's confession felt like a punch to the gut. He'd hoped he'd misjudged the situation, but now the truth lay out in the open, leaving him with no escape. As a cop, his duty was to uphold the law and bring justice to those who deserved it. But now that duty conflicted with his personal feelings and the devastating consequences of this revelation. Should he turn in the evidence, freeing Daniel but condemning Sharon to prison? Or should he bury it, allowing Daniel to be wrongfully convicted but sparing Sharon from a life behind bars? It was an impossible choice, one that weighed heavily on him. To complicate matters, Chance knew the impact this decision could have on his own life. If he went public with Sharon's confession and the necklace, his career could be jeopardized. People would ask why he delayed coming forward, why he kept it a secret. Some might even accuse him of being too close to Sharon, of letting his personal feelings cloud his judgment, putting his hard-earned reputation as an officer at risk. And yet, as he looked into Sharon's pleading eyes, he couldn't shake the image of Daniel's family. Lucy had been through so much already, losing her mother and now facing the impending loss of her father. Could Chance really allow Daniel to take the fall, knowing Sharon was the true culprit? The very thought made him sick to his stomach. But then there was Sharon. He had known her for years, and despite everything, a part of him still cared about what happened to her. She had made terrible choices, but did that mean she deserved to spend her life behind bars? Chance left the meeting more conflicted than ever, fully aware that he held the power to change everything with a single action. Yet he knew the consequences of that action would be far-reaching. For now, the evidence remained hidden. He hadn't shared it with anyone. Not the police, not Phyllis, not Daniel. He needed time to weigh his options before making a decision that would change the course of several lives. Michelle Stafford always creates drama as Phyllis on The Young and the Restless. The redhead has gained many enemies throughout the years. While Phyllis likes to portray herself as a victim, one feud unleashed her bad side. Christine unleashed Phyllis' bad side. Phyllis has had many famous rivalries, including Sharon and Diane. But her feud with Christine is the most epic. Their rivalry began in 1994, when Phyllis broke up Christine's marriage by claiming Danny was Daniel's father. Although Phyllis succeeds in her plot to marry Danny, she is still intent on revenge against Christine. In one of the storyline's pivotal moments, Phyllis ran down Christine and Paul. That moment solidified Phyllis' status as a villain and added another layer to her feud with Christine. I personally believe that Phyllis is completely crazy on that one. The other ones I can see Phyllis' side. I could be like, oh, I see her side. I kind of get why she would not like that person, Stafford explained. But yeah, Phyllis has only done Christine wrong. And I feel like a lot of her vitriol toward Christine has to do with Phyllis trying to overcompensate for how wrong she feels. Their feud has intensified over the decades, with Phyllis antagonizing Christine and the lawyer trying to prosecute Phyllis for her crimes. When Danny returned to Genoa City in 2022, the women fought for his affection. Phyllis' attempts at seducing her ex-husband were unsuccessful as Danny and Christine reunited, then embarked on his music tour. But Christine will make a return to help Daniel, who is accused of Heather's murder. Phyllis won't be happy to see her rival, and a few barbs will be traded. However, the two women must play nice as they work to clear Daniel's name. Sharon stages Phyllis' accident, way to permanently silence rival without suspicion. The Young and the Restless spoilers reveal that Sharon Newman will have to settle on a strategy to stop Phyllis Summers from exposing her. Sharon recently decided she needed to deal with Phyllis somehow, but she hasn't figured out the details yet. Cameron Kirsten may pitch in when it comes to brainstorming and nailing down exactly how to end Phyllis' threat. Of course, it would be all kinds of suspicious if Sharon did something like poison Phyllis. That was the original plan with Daniel Rumalotti, but Sharon couldn't go through with it in the end. Cameron may doubt that Sharon could go through with poisoning Phyllis either, and argue that it'd draw too much attention anyway. It's possible Sharon could plot another stairwell tumble for Phyllis, like the one that put her in a coma years ago, but that could raise questions too. Sharon doesn't need the cops to be reminded of her history with Phyllis if she's going to wipe her off the map. It seems like Sharon's best bet would be to stage some sort of accident that can't be traced back to her. What Sharon needs is a way to permanently silence her rival without suspicion being thrown in her direction. Sharon might do something like mess with the brakes on Phyllis' car or something along those lines. Perhaps Sharon could hope that the cops just assume it was simply a tragic accident and don't investigate the vehicle too closely. Then again, maybe there's some other way for Sharon to take Phyllis out of the picture without pointing the finger at herself. Regardless, Sharon has resolved to handle Phyllis and will get some extra motivation soon enough. Daniel's arrest will leave Phyllis reeling and make her even more determined to clear his name. Phyllis will be working hard to prove Sharon is guilty, so Sharon may work just as hard to end her threat for good. Our Y and R predictions hint that Sharon's efforts won't go according to plan, so stay tuned for updates on all the tricky news ahead. Although Phyllis will survive whatever Sharon has in store, you can bet more drama's brewing. The Young and the Restless spoilers say some twists and turns are still to come in Sharon's storyline, so stay tuned. CDL will have other sizzling Young and the Restless spoilers, predictions, news, and updates to check out, so make us your go-to Y and R source. We are happy to report the lovely news of our beloved The Young and the Restless alum, Hunter King's engagement. The actress shot to fame for portraying the layered and complicated character of Summer Newman on the CBS Sudsword between 2012 and 2022. However, she bowed out of the soap to try other projects. Ever since leaving The Young and the Restless, Hunter King has been a regular on Hallmark movies. Interestingly, the Hallmark chapter not only brought her added fame, but seems to have also brought her the love of her life. Best day of my life, Chrisscope 88, I can't wait to marry your ass. Hunter King wrote in the caption of her Instagram post that announced her engagement to Chris Copier. Chris and Hunter have been dating for a while now, but have been keeping their relationship under wraps. The Young and the Restless alum gave fans the first sneak peek of their relationship through a reel that she posted toward the end of 2023. It featured some videos and pictures of Chris. The newly engaged couple first met on the sets of the film Give Me Your Eyes. Chris Copier was part of the film's crew, while Hunter was starring as one of the leads of the film. The two hit it off on the sets, and their relationship grew with time. On October 19, 2024, Hunter marked her 31st birthday, and around the same time her boo decided to pop the question. Hunter King's reel beautifully captured the heartwarming beach proposal. In the video, Chris and Hunter can be seen sharing a romantic moment on the beach alongside their pooches. Chris then suddenly went down on a knee to propose. Hunter was so taken by surprise that she began to jump and then fell down to her knees to hug her partner. It looks like Hunter and Chris make the perfect team in their personal as well as professional life. The two are still working together on more projects. In fact, one of their films is about to hit the screen shortly. It is named Holiday Touchdown, a Chief's love story. Hunter stars in the film as Alana, while Copier is an assistant director for the film. Debuts on November 30 as part of Hallmark Channel's 15th annual countdown to Christmas. The Young and the Restless spoilers reveal that Chance Chancellor recently made a major discovery in Daniel Romalotti Jr.'s apartment. It could help clear Sharon Newman's name in the end, so let's talk about what this really means. During a thorough forensic search, Chance found what appeared to be an octopus bookend with traces of blood on it. The markings were consistent with ones on the back of Heather's head, so Chance feels confident this is the murder weapon. Of course, we have to acknowledge that Y and R seemingly just proved Sharon is innocent when it comes to Heather's demise. Although Sharon is guilty of the cover-up and framing Daniel, it's extremely doubtful she caused Heather's grisly outcome. Sharon woke up after a blackout and was horrified to find Heather deceased on the floor. However, the murder weapon was obviously cleaned and put back on the shelf based on Chance's findings. It just doesn't seem likely that Sharon attacked Heather, cleaned off the bookend, and sat it on the shelf again. If Sharon was operating in some autopilot state during her blackout, she probably wouldn't have thought about covering her tracks in that moment. After all, Heather's body was still sprawled out on the floor at that point. If Sharon were actually to blame, she would have woken up to find the bookend right there next to Heather's corpse or even in her hand. Since the bookend was wiped down, there should have already been a blood-stained towel for Sharon to find. Instead, Sharon didn't start cleanup duty until after she awoke from her blackout. It's not like Sharon's blackout is protecting her from any feelings of guilt about what happened. It's actually made Sharon believe she's responsible since she can't remember the full story. Sharon's blackout seems more like Lie and R's way of creating a window of time for another culprit to have done the deed. The fact that Sharon can't remember anything about this bookend is highly suspicious and points to another dangerous criminal still being on the loose. The Young and the Restless spoilers say Sharon might uncover some new memories about that night sooner or later, so stick with us for more shocking predictions and updates on any big news to come. CVO's where you want to be for great Young and the Restless spoilers, predictions, news, and updates, so visit us often for more info. The Young and the Restless spoilers indicate fans should always expect the unexpected in the land of Genoa City. Victor Newman's plan to get back at the Abbotts is seemingly a success. He's recruited Kyle Abbott from Jabot as Glissade's CEO and has created havoc in Jack Abbott and Diane Abbott's marriage. Dak is on the brink of breaking up, whether this is a setup to swerve the mustache or real. Regardless, if Diane moves out of the Abbott mansion, her days at Jabot are numbered. The Young and the Restless spoilers. Jack Abbott is in need of a CEO. Lie and R spoilers suggest that if Diane loses her bed at the Abbott mansion this week, she could also lose her comfy CEO job at Jabot. Jack may find himself scrambling to find a replacement, especially since the company is already a man down with no 2-0. Unfortunately, his younger brother Billy Abbott is running the show at Abbott Chancellor, and GC doesn't have many candidates out there that can easily run a multi-million-dollar cosmetic conglomerate. Who could he turn to? Lie and R spoilers. The Lily Winters factor. Lily was comfortable enough to scheme with Victor, despite knowing how he can flip-flop, because of the relationship he had with her father, Neil Winters. Still, Victor proved to be Victor, and Lily isn't only unemployed, she's jaded. While she has her sights set on Chancellor, running Jabot wouldn't exactly be a step down. Plus, it would nicely pay the bills. Jack could find out about how the mustache screwed Lily over. He already knows how Billy wrongfully fired her. As he's in dire need of a CEO, would he offer her the job? Lily knows she can trust Jack. He's got good ethics. Plus, the opportunity to run Jabot and possibly bring down Glissade in one swoop might be enticing. Could Lily start working for Jabot? Leave your thoughts in the comment section. Tune into the Y and R on CBS regularly to catch all the drama, and visit this site daily for the hottest Young and the Restless spoilers, updates, and news. Victor never sleeps. The Patriarch is always planning his next move. The Young and the Restless spoilers suggest that he will recruit Diane. This could lead to a shocking twist in her marriage with Jack. Planning the perfect plot. Victor is determined to take down Jabot. He wants Glissade to beat the beauty competitor in numbers and power. Victor already recruited Jack's son Kyle to work with him. He will do whatever it takes, even if that means messing with someone else's family. Jack and Diane are seemingly on the outs because of Kyle. He's still acting like a rebelling teenager. Kyle wants to stick it to his family by being the head of the most powerful beauty brand, even if that means stealing some of Jabbat's secrets. Kyle's behavior came out of nowhere. Where was this energy when his mother first came to town? So far, Diane has proved she has nothing to hide. That could all change when she works for the enemy, meaning Victor. I spy a weak link. Victor wants to recruit Diane to work for him. Maybe Jack and Diane aren't really having marital problems. They could be faking their split so that Victor would convince her to work with him. He'll use their supposed marital woes to take down Jack. Diane could end up becoming a spy for Jack at Newman. This could be a clever way to stick it to Victor and take him down. It would be nice to see a couple sticking together and not divorce for once. Jack and Diane fans would get some satisfaction out of this plot twist. Additionally, Victor would finally get taken down a peg. Jack and Diane would sit back, laughing and toasting one another. It was hard for fans of the couple to watch them argue. Hopefully, they're more solid than they seem these days. Jack and Diane's public argument could have been a ploy to distract Victor into thinking they were headed for trouble. The couple tries to make themselves appear weak when Victor is the weakest link in this game. In a gripping turn of events, the investigation led by Chance Chancellor takes a dramatic shift as his forensic team uncovers critical evidence in one of Genoa City's most baffling murder cases. Tension hangs thick in the air as Chance methodically sifts through the crime scene, determined to find every trace left behind by the killer. His dedication to uncover the truth is unwavering, and as he carefully scans the house with forensic lights, something catches his eye: fresh fingerprints. They're irrefutable proof that the killer made a mistake, leaving behind a damning clue. Enter Phyllis Summers, who wastes no time inserting herself into the case. Always one to relish the drama, she arrives at the crime scene as soon as the new evidence is uncovered. Phyllis has more than a passing interest in this investigation. Her involvement is personal. For reasons that remain unclear to most, she's been given special access to sensitive information, raising suspicions about her motives. While some believe Phyllis is driven by a desire for justice, others can't help but wonder if she's seeking revenge or something more sinister. Meanwhile, Sharon Newman finds herself spiraling under the weight of the investigation. Overwhelmed by the pressure, she rushes home, her mind racing. She bursts through the door and collapses into Nick Newman's arms, panic gripping her as she explains the dire situation. "Nick, it's Phyllis," she gasps, her voice shaking with fear. "She's out there trying to pin this on me. Or worse, she's fabricating evidence to put me in jail. I can't go to prison. Nick, you have to help me." Nick, caught off guard by Sharon's desperation, tries to calm her down, but the gravity of the situation is undeniable. Sharon is in deep trouble, and Phyllis seems to be closing in on her. Nick's mind races as he contemplates how everything has unraveled so quickly. More importantly, he struggles to figure out how he can protect Sharon from the storm that's brewing. Just when things couldn't seem more dire, a bombshell revelation shakes the investigation to its core. The forensic team uncovers Sharon's fingerprints and blood on a book found at the crime scene. The discovery sends shockwaves through Genoa City. Could Sharon really have been involved in the murder of Heather? The evidence is mounting, and it's damning. The book, now confirmed as the murder weapon, was used with such force that it left blood splatters across its pages, pointing to a vicious attack. But there's more. As the forensic team pieces together the scene, a darker theory emerges. What if the attack wasn't premeditated? Could Heather's death have been the result of a moment of uncontrolled rage, rather than a calculated murder? As the narrative shifts, speculation grows that Heather's death might have been an accident, a confrontation that spiraled tragically out of control. But even if it wasn't intentional, Sharon's guilt remains a looming question. The realization hits her like a sledgehammer as she tries to piece together what happened that night. Could she really have been capable of such violence? Sharon can't remember committing the act, yet the evidence suggests otherwise. Her fingerprints, her blood. How did they end up at the crime scene? And more importantly, why? The situation becomes even murkier when further investigation reveals that Sharon's DNA isn't only at the primary crime scene, it's also found in Daniel's apartment. The implications are staggering. What was Sharon doing in Daniel's home, and how does it tie her to Heather's murder? This new discovery raises even more questions, adding layers of complexity to an already tangled web. Daniel, already under suspicion due to his past relationship with Heather, now finds himself even more deeply enmeshed in the investigation. His connection to both women is undeniable, but how far does that connection go? And what role does Sharon play in the unfolding drama? As the investigation continues, the stakes grow higher for everyone involved. Sharon's life hangs in the balance, and with each new piece of evidence, her world crumbles a little more. Can she clear her name, or is she doomed to pay the price for a crime she claims she didn't commit? One thing is certain, the truth will come out, and when it does, it will change everything. The Young and the Restless spoilers reveal that Sharon Newman has been dealing with a world of trouble lately, but she's not going through it alone. Thanks to Sharon's hallucinations of Cameron Kirsten, she's constantly getting bad advice and being driven down the wrong path. Cameron is really just the worst part of Sharon's messed up mind. That's something that makes this storyline unique, and something that Lyndon Ashby finds quite appealing according to a new interview with Woman's World. Ashby opened up about the intriguing relationship that Sharon's built with Cameron. Since Sharon Case is such an incredible performer, Ashby sang her praises and talked about how much fun they've been having behind the scenes. Although the story can get pretty sinister, Ashby acknowledged that there's a lot of humor involved too. This version of Cameron can certainly be funny, especially when he's ranting about people who are right there in the room with Sharon. It's hard to keep a straight face sometimes, Ashby said before admitting he jokes around with Joshua Morrow about Cameron's insults. Of course, plenty of fans have commented on the fact that Ashby has to wear that same blood-stained wardrobe every day, but he insisted he doesn't mind. In fact, Ashby actually enjoys wearing that shirt and considers it his work uniform at this point. As for what the future holds, Cameron obviously can't stick around forever. That's something Ashby acknowledged toward the end of his interview, but he also jokingly offered a way for Cameron to stay. "I don't know how much longer I'm gonna last on The Young and the Restless," Ashby said. "Who knows? Sharon and Cameron might become like an old married couple." Although it's been great to see Lyndon Ashby's talent on full display, all good things must come to an end. Sharon and Cameron indeed bicker like a married couple most days, but there'll come a point when he'll inevitably fade from existence. Since Sharon will get the help she needs sooner or later, she'll thankfully say goodbye to Cameron. Our My and Our predictions hint that Cameron will get Sharon in more trouble until then, so we'll bring you updates on all the startling news to come. The Young and the Restless spoilers say Sharon has some wild twists and turns ahead of her, so stay tuned. CDL is where you want to be for terrific Young and the Restless spoilers, predictions, news, and updates, so make us your go-to Why and Our source. Is Phyllis ready to explode as Chance arrests Daniel on Why and Our? Next week on The Young and the Restless is set to be a roller coaster for fans as Daniel Romalotti finds himself in handcuffs and his mother Phyllis Summers is ready to unleash her fury. From October 28 through November 1, expect explosive drama as major spoilers reveal what's about to happen in Genoa City. Phyllis is left fuming when Chance Chancellor moves in to arrest Daniel. Phyllis accuses Sharon Newman of framing her son, insisting that Sharon is the real murderer in Heather's case. Despite her protests, Chance insists he's just doing his job, leaving Phyllis feeling helpless. But just when it seems all hope is lost, Christine Williams swoops in, surprising Phyllis as she steps up to represent Daniel. Phyllis is shocked to see Christine, a longtime rival, coming to Daniel's defense. Could Danny Romalotti have sent Christine to rescue his son from Sharon's alleged sinister plan? While all eyes are on the murder investigation, another dramatic twist involves Diane Jenkins. After being thrown out of the Abbott mansion and fired from Jebot, Diane sets her sights on revenge. She's determined to humiliate Kyle in a public way, hoping it will hurt Jack Abbott as much as it will Kyle. She shares her plan with Victor Newman, who listens but remains non-committal. Nikki Newman, however, is furious that Victor is even entertaining Diane's vendetta. Could Jack and Diane be faking their falling out as part of a larger scheme, or is Diane truly going off the rails? Amid the escalating chaos, fans can look forward to a blast from the past as the iconic Newman Ranch house is rebuilt. Victor has been secretly reconstructing the home that Sharon burned down in 2012, and it will be unveiled on November 8th, just in time for Abby and Devon's wedding. The set coincides with Willie and R's 1000th episode, airing November 13th, making this event one not to miss. Be sure to tune in to see how these gripping storylines unfold as the young and the restless heats up Genoa City. In Genoa City, relationships are more fragile than ever. Alliances are shaky and secrets loom large. This week, Jack Abbott's shocking announcement to annul his marriage to Diane Jenkins stuns the entire city. Diane, blindsided, had believed their relationship was stable, but Jack's decision to strip her from Jabot Cosmetics sends her reeling. Determined not to be sidelined, Diane rallies support to reclaim her place in the company, signaling a fierce power struggle against Jack's control. Diane's tenacity shines as she pushes back, but Jack's rigid stance has fractured their bond irreparably, sparking a corporate and personal clash that could reshape Jabot forever. Meanwhile, an unexpected family revelation throws Nate Hastings into turmoil. His close friend Louis Winters drops the bombshell that Nate has a long-lost twin brother, a fact hidden from him for years. Nate's frustration mounts as he grapples with this shocking twist in his identity, and he questions why he was kept in the dark. With Louis at his side, Nate begins a journey to uncover the mystery of his twin and its implications on his own life, further complicating family dynamics in Genoa City. Sharon Newman's world takes a darker turn as she grows more isolated and erratic. Her mysterious association with Cameron raises eyebrows, with friends noticing her unsettling behavior and descent into paranoia. Sharon's relentless power grabs and manipulative tactics have alienated her, straining her mental health as her connection with reality falters. Lucy Romalotti faces her own crisis as her father Daniel edges closer to prison. Overwhelmed, Lucy turns to alcohol, seeking a temporary escape from her despair. Her grandmother, Phyllis Summers, steps in to help but struggles to prevent Lucy's downward spiral. Lucy's vulnerability only grows as dark influences surround her, driving her closer to addiction and opening the door for manipulative forces within Genoa City. In her quest to clear Daniel's name, Summer Newman is at odds with Chance Chancellor. Summer is convinced that Daniel's troubles stem from Sharon's manipulations, but Chance, torn between duty and family loyalty, is hesitant to act. As Summer presses him to investigate Sharon further, the strain between her and Chance becomes undeniable, putting their relationship to the ultimate test. Meanwhile, in the corporate halls, Kyle Abbott finds himself in conflict with Claire Thompson over the future of Jabot. Claire sees him as essential to the company's growth, but Kyle wants to forge his own path, seeking mentorship from Victor Newman. Jack tries to mediate, but tensions only worsen, leaving Jabot's future uncertain. Amid this tension, Lucy, driven by desperation to save her father, concocts a plan to spy on Sharon. By forming a fake friendship with Faith, one of Sharon's close allies, Lucy aims to gather incriminating information. Her determination to uncover the truth blurs the line between right and wrong. As Lucy ventures deeper into Genoa City's treacherous web, a once innocent girl now hardened by the ruthless battles she faces. All products and services featured are independently chosen by editors. However, soaps.com may receive a commission on orders placed through its retail links, and the retailer may receive certain auditable data for accounting purposes. A huge congrats goes out to the young and the restless alum hunter king who is officially off the market. The former CBS soap fave recently became engaged to boyfriend, producer, and director Chris Copier. King shared a video of the proposal on social media with Copier, engaged in a kiss on the beach while out walking their dogs. Little did she know, she was about to be engaged in a whole other way. Suddenly, he dropped down on bended knee, with a ring in his hand, and the rest is history. King excitedly jumped up and down and kissed her husband-to-be, and she said yes. Many of her former castmates jumped into the comments to send their congrats as well, including the actress who played her on-screen mom Phyllis. Yes, cheered Michelle Stafford, as Laflin Buchanan stated, "OMG congrats, this is amazing." Lindsay Fonseca added, "What? OMG, OMG, OMG yes." So many more of King's daytime and Hallmark peers were on hand with messages, and Laura Lee Bell echoed a lot of their posts with a big congratulations. Earlier this month, King posted a pic of her and Copier to share their Saturday plans, which included a date to the Kansas City Wine Walk and rotting in bed until further notice. Days of Our Lives spoilers reveal that Brandon Barish's exit is official, so fans will have to say goodbye to Stefan soon enough. CDL previously reported on Barish's imminent day's departure, but now Barish himself has confirmed he was fired in a Soaps.com interview. Barish admitted the news came as quite a shock since it seemed like it came out of nowhere. It was a tough blow that Barish described as a gut punch, since the writers chose to have him leave Salem in the middle of his contract. Based on what's been happening on screen, it looked like Stefan might get another chance with Gabby Hernandez Demera since he was ready to fight for her by the end of the October 25 episode. Unfortunately, Stefan was attacked and seemingly drugged by a masked intruder moments later. That was apparently someone sent by Vivian Alamain, since Days spoilers say she'll prevent Stefan from reuniting with Gabby. It looks like Vivian has taken drastic action when it comes to controlling Stefan, so fans will want to stay tuned for updates on Monday, October 28. That'll be Brandon Barish's final air date, and Barish doesn't sound too optimistic about a comeback. Since this is the second time Barish has been given the boot from DOL, he's uncertain about whether his return will ever happen. It would require a very specific set of circumstances and a show of faith that he doesn't have in Days anymore. Brandon Barish talked about how the terms, story, and contract would all have to be right for him to even consider reprising the role of Stefan Demera. And I would have to be able to trust them. And I've lost that. I've lost that ability to trust that team, quite frankly, Barish admitted. Days of Our Lives spoilers say Gabby will remain in Salem without her true love, so we'll see what the future holds for her character without Stefan by her side. Our predictions point to Gabby finding another romantic partner eventually, but many fans will forever feel Stefan was her perfect match.